The Dumpy Variety Hour! The Dumpy Variety Hour! The Dumpy Variety Hour! The Dumpy Variety Hour.
Welcome back to another Dub Feet Variety Hour podcast, The Doughnut Special. This would be episode number 2. Episode 1, we talked about 4 places, and we were going to elaborate on a couple more spots that we went to.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say episode 1, we talked about foreplay, and I was like, yeah, I mean,
hey.
The first
donuts,
couple donut places were.
Yeah. I definitely said, referring back to the previous episode, the Donut Club donut was definitely the foreplay donut to going to the donut pub. So it was like enough to give you a taste of donut, and it wasn't enough. We needed to go all the way, and then we had to go back to the donut pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a bad joke, but I'm just gonna leave that there.
now I'm curious, but by all means, let's.
It was just like any heterosexual experience with a man. That's all. Yeah.
Got it.
You know, you feel like you need to. Anyway, you want to start over again?
Up to you. It's your
no,
call.
it's good. Let's just leave it. It's fine.
It's beautiful. It's great. It's great.
Artie by day, donut slut by night.
Patent pending.
We are going to start with our deep dive into Deep Brooklyn.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to start with our Deep Brooklyn. The first one is Mike's Donut Shop.
Mike's Donuts. Now, this donut shop, as I've been recently binging Impractical Jokers, it's come up on this show. Mm-hmm. So it's not an unknown donut shop, and it's got some notoriety, I guess, because it's probably been there for a long time.
So it's like low-key famous.
Low-key famous,
Very
for sure.
wholesome spot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It looks kind of like your standard sort of cafe, bakery, deli type of vibe when you walk in.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they've got your standard variety of donuts. They don't have any really specialty donuts, as I recall.
No, it's very, like, basic donut flavors. It's like the mom and pop of Dunkin' Donuts,
For
I
sure.
would say.
Yeah. That is probably one of the best ways to put it, actually. Yeah,
that's that's the vibe I got.
It definitely gave me a mom and pop Dunkin' vibe.
Yeah, I felt like the woman who was serving me when I went in. I was like, "Mom, like, mommy, sorry, mommy, sorry, mommy,
sorry, miss, I just need some donuts. Can you hold me after?
Can I just? Do you want some milk with your donuts? Ah!
Yes, mommy.
Okay. Anyway, why are we sexualizing Mike's Donuts?
I was not. I was totally taking it. I was taking it far away from Freud.
I'm like, this is so wholesome.
Yet the donuts have holes in them. Boom.
Oh, except for the log.
Did we get one?
No. Well, I have not tried that donut. I had it when I was like 5, I think, from Dunkin' Donuts.
I can't even say it.
The log. The log. The fucking log.
The log donut. Well, they had those at Peter Pan. They had like the long.
They did. Yeah. I was so tempted.
Is that
to
what
get
they're called?
Today.
Is that a donut log? I'm pretty sure that's what they're called.
Why is that so funny?
I don't know.
It's really not.
It's like saying the word banana, and it's hilarious. It's just
it just doesn't. No, it's not, because the log. If I was a superhero, I'd be the log.
I am the log. Crime will be stopped, for I am the log.
God damn.
Add superhero music to that part too, Damon. Thanks.
ADR. Is that what it is?
Yep.
ADR. I'm learning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I did not try the log.
Sorry. I completely digress. I think ADR is technically when you're re-recording audio for, like, replacement audio.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just going to find audio and place it there. I'm going to still call it ADR. I'm making up my own rules.
It's just a clusterfuck of audio. It's fine.
Yeah. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. It's all good.
Nope.
Anyways.
Nobody listens to this. Nobody's going to be listening to this, so we can say whatever we want about the log.
Damn straight.
Except the Japanese listeners.
Oh, that's right.
That was on the first one, or I don't know, someone from Japan.
That's right.
Yeah. Shout out to Japan.
Shout out to you. Please send your podcast to everybody.
Yeah. Share it with your friends.
Down the lake and the rivers. because Japan's surrounded by water, right? I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to say it is.
I am a dietitian.
This is
I
not
don't
a
study
geography podcast. This is a side part of a podcast about movies talking about donuts. We don't need to know where Japan is. It's irrelevant, right?
It's totally relevant. Just maybe someone who's listening can inform us.
Well, yeah. Drop a comment.
In a very gentle
wherever you
way.
can drop comments.
Drop a comment into...
How do you call somebody stupid in Japanese?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
How do you say
know.
we're terrible people
Exactly.
in Japanese?
How do you say shut up with the log donuts in Japanese?
Just smack me in the face with a goddamn log. Which brings us to our OnlyFans donut content.
Yes.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. We'll save that for later.
Yes.
This is getting very messy. I apologize. Where were we?
We were talking about mics, and we
Log.
were talking about their variety of donuts.
Yeah.
I do actually have, I guess I finally started getting consistent with the pictures that I would take of the donuts that I was consuming. I got my French cruller because I love me a French cruller. They had the chocolate dip French cruller. I also got the apple crumb donut, which we attempted to split.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember when we went to split it down the middle, it pretty much broke into a giant piece and a little piece.
Yeah.
And I was like, here's your piece. And it was the giant piece. And you looked at me like I had 3 heads. So
Yeah, because I had already had the strawberry frosted donut.
Correct. Yes. And that looked
And-
like your standard, just, strawberry sprinkle donut.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Simpsons donut.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which was like, is good because like I mentioned before, this is like a mom and pop Dunkin' Donuts.
Mhm.
So it was very similar to that, but probably better. I don't know. I haven't had a Dunkin' Donut in a long time.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's definitely a step up from Dunkin', but it was operating on a very similar level
Yeah.
as Dunkin'. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this place also, so this was in Bay Ridge, which is a pretty far trek from basically anybody ever, anywhere.
Yeah. I think, funny enough, this might have been our first donut excursion that took us the longest to get there.
Yeah. It was like,
I
what, almost
think.
an hour?
I would say so, probably right under an hour. And I do also remember it being severely cold. It was February.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
we were eating outside, and it had just snowed either the day before or not too long before that, and it was like a heavy snowstorm. So like
Yeah.
we had to like dig through the park, not literally, but we had to like walk through the park and like sit down on one of the benches that had not been covered in snow.
Right. Yeah.
So-
It was I think, was it one of the ones with the built-in chess table?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We did not play chess.
We did not. We just shivered in the cold and ate
Yeah.
donuts, which I'm starting to see a pattern. You mentioned this in the last podcast. The donut club cold played a factor in the donuts when they were received.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if there's a correlation here, or maybe it's just the donuts are meh. But I do recall being like, I literally recall sort of like, this is great. Let's keep talking. And I was like, shivering and whatnot as we were trying to eat a donut.
Yeah.
And I'm almost sure, once again, I think you had iced coffee.
I definitely had iced coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with my brain,
Hey,
but
iced coffee's iced coffee.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, and I remember this was in February, like you said. So I was in the process of, I was just about to move.
That's
to
right. Yeah.
Williamsburg.
Mm-hmm.
So that time I did come from Sunset Park, but I think it would have been probably just as, actually no, Sunset Park is closer to Bay Ridge.
Right. I was going to say, I remember we met up nearby the train, if I recall correctly.
Near me, or when we got to,
I think we met up near Mike's, but
Yeah.
we like met up at the train station close to Mike's.
Yes.
If I recall, I'm not 100% sure.
yeah.
But I remember you it said you'd get there in like 20 minutes or less, and I was there in like 45.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's not, I probably wouldn't travel that far to go back. Unless, again, and I think we mentioned this in the very first, like the first half of episode when we were talking about the live with Darn Donuts.
Darn donuts.
If I was going to go to like Diker Heights or something and
Yeah.
do like a Christmas whatever with the lights and the whole thing,
Yeah.
I would get another Mike's donut probably.
Get a donut, get a hot chocolate or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Call it a day. Hell yeah.
So, other than that, I probably wouldn't go back there just because I don't live close.
Yeah.
And it's like there are way better places here.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
I will say the French colored donut was pretty standard. It was decent. Do you remember how the apple crumb one was? It was very good pie filling, but it wasn't anything that crazy.
Yeah,
I
I
recall.
think I felt it was kind of just, again, like just like a simple, like the type of pie filling, apple pie filling you'd
Yeah.
get at like Dunkin' Donuts or like the McDonald's apple pie, which I hate to compare it to that because it's not that bad, but like
Yeah, right.
It-
but
it
but in order
wasn't-
to sort of get the understanding of what it tastes like, it wasn't anything that like, oh my god, it's so you taste every notion of the spices that they use for the filling. It
right.
tastes like apple pie filling. Nothing
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, nothing crazy,
Yeah.
but
There's
I
a
did-
there's a great line that I always use to describe anything from the HBO miniseries Chernobyl. There's a scene where one of the character goes, "Not great, not terrible," and I think that's probably the best way to put Mike's Donuts.
yeah, I would say that's very accurate.
Yeah, they have you can tell that they have like I said before, they have a notoriety and they have like a foothold in the neighborhood, so they've probably been there for a long time. So everybody loves it, and there's a vibe with it being like a bakery and a deli and all that stuff. But yeah, it was all right. It was all right.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. If you have a mommy kink, go to Mike's.
Exactly. Out of 6 donuts, I would probably give that a. I liked it better than the Moshi's, but it was marginal. So I'd probably go 4 flat.
Okay. I would say 3.8.
Okay. So 3.9 is the sort of literal
Yeah,
1
that's our-
point difference.
That's
That's
our
the-
middle ground.
The median, if you will.
The median.
Yeah. See, now this is a math podcast.
Yeah.
Pi is 3.1415926 for the donuts.
Damn, that was impressive. Fuck school. Listen to our podcast.
Yeah, we'll teach you everything you need to know. We dive in everything.
Everything. So yeah, 3.9 stars. Donuts. I'm pretty bad at this.
3 donuts and 9 sprinkles.
Yeah.
As random and nonsensical as that sounds.
Exactly. Maybe if we had the log, I would have felt a little bit stronger about
This is true.
place,
This is
but
very. Did they have them there? They probably did.
I think they did. I think
I'm
that's
90% sure that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also mentioned this after we went there, because I believe I sent you a photo of somebody dipping a donut in coffee, and you
Yeah.
said your mind had like exploded. It's like, people do that. I'm like, yeah, I think it's a thing, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
wondering if
didn't-
there's like an appeal with their donuts being submerged in coffee. Like that might be the vibe that makes those donuts better.
Oh, so maybe that's the experience and we didn't fully engage.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so
But it would
again,
also involve hot coffee, so
right.
you know.
I mean, coming full circle, this just proves how terrible of people we are. We're not even doing it right. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are we to judge?
So this means we'll be revisiting this spot. No, we won't.
No, probably not.
We have a good 15 to 20 places still to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll be right back. Donut fans.
Donut fans.
Do you like donuts? Do you fetishize about donuts?
Donut fans.
Donut fans. Do you like gluten?
Because I can stretch the gluten.
Donut fans.
Donut fans. So,
But if we
alright.
do, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we will keep you posted. So the next spot that's kind of chronological in our order. It's chronological.
That sounds about right.
Next up on our chronological adventure, the trajectory
dun, 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 dun.
progresses. So we went to Donuts.
Yes.
And now this experience was, maybe I just associated the whole time because I feel like I have a tendency to do that quite often. So maybe I was just associating as I do. But this spot was not memorable. Don't really remember much about it, but we can touch on it.
So for whatever reason, I don't know why my brain does this, but it kind of intermingles Donut Plant and Donuts. And I'm not
Yeah.
sure why. And they're not really, maybe the only thing that's similar about them is the size of their donuts. They're like sort of like extra large donuts, like in terms of your standard donuts. So for whatever reason, I don't really recall this place. And anytime I think I recall the place, I'm thinking of donut plant, and I don't know why.
Oh, fair. Yeah. I can't even remember what the inside of this place looks like.
Yeah.
Because
right.
we did sit outside and it was freezing once again. But yeah, I don't even remember what the inside looked like. I keep doing that with Dough Club. So like the mochi donuts that we had, I'm confusing with Dough Donuts, which is totally unrelated. I don't know why, but like the atmosphere makes me think of both.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I had a pumpkin cheesecake donut there, which was, I remember it being good. Like it tasted good.
Okay.
It was very messy. I made a mess.
I do remember that because I do remember pumpkin, like the pumpkin glaze and all that being covered on all your hands.
Oh, one thing I did like about it, they had actual pumpkin seeds on the top of the donut.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's actually, if I recall correctly, as they're one of the many donut spots that do seasonal donuts, I believe that donut is back in session.
Oh, maybe we'll need to revisit to really get
Yes.
a good feel for this place. But yeah, we did go there. We were there. I definitely had a tea that time because I remember Earl Grey.
I also remember getting an Earl Grey as well, and more than likely burning the living bejesus out of my mouth.
Yes. I think that's when I decided I wanted to name my non-existent children Bergamot and what's the other one?
Bergamot and cardamom.
Cardamom. Yes.
I recall this conversation.
Yeah. See, it's coming.
It's a
back.
good two names.
Yeah. So
Berg, get back inside.
Bergamot. Cool. So I'm glad I have those for when I have a dog or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You should get matching cats.
Matching cats. Yeah.
Bergamot, cardamom.
Yeah.
Or slightly different colors so you know which one's which, because that might help.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming bergamot and cardamom don't look the same in terms of the leaves or whatever the hell those spices are.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a...
I drink a lot of Earl Grey, and I should know this.
You should.
But, you know, I have 2 cups coursing through my veins currently, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll circle back on that.
We'll put a pin in that one, and we'll figure it out.
Stay tuned for the distinction between bergamot and cadmium. Cadmium.
Cadmium.
Cadmium.
Bergamot, cadmium. Whose car are we taking?
Yeah, so Dough Donuts, I don't even have a proper rating for this place.
I know we said we might not revisit it, but I think we should for the sake of rekindling our brain to know where we went. So
I think that would be fair. We didn't even get a photo.
I jokingly said to put a pin in that. I think we're going to put a pin in this rating just because as you recalled the donut that I had, I believe I had the lemon poppy seed one, but I don't recall having it. And I know I've had some lemon poppy seed other stuff, and I could kind of almost picture what it tasted like in my head. Yeah. But I feel like I would be doing a disservice if I explained something that I can't remember.
Yeah, same. We will take put a pin in this, circle back, and that was it. There's no end. That's it. That's the content by.
And that's that.
Yeah.
We've made you some content.
Daddy made you some content, open wide.
This is a donut.
Yeah, this is why are we doing a podcast? We could be like karaokeing Bo Burnham.
I know.
Which brings us to our next spot, which we won't really go too deep into because we do have a whole live episode about this.
Yes, this was the 0.5 episode that set all this off, where we sat in the park and consumed monstrous donuts from Darn Donuts.
Darn Donuts.
Yeah.
Where should we start? We were bullied at this place.
Oh, for sure.
Bullied into buying 6 donuts.
We went in and we were kind of just like, "What's good?" And she just looked at us and she said, "Everything's good."
And we're like, "What is that? Like, is there cinnamon on there?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, cinnamon donut. That's good. Here."
And she put it in a box.
We're like, "Okay, I guess we're getting a cinnamon donut."
I'm pretty sure like we didn't even say we're getting a dozen or half dozen. She's like, "You're getting a dozen." Like, what?
Like, actually, like, no, we don't want that much. Okay, half dozen.
I turned around to behind me to make sure there wasn't a guy with a gun just pointed at me like, "You're gonna get 2 dozen donuts." So, but that, we were good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, what's in that jelly donut? Oh yeah, jelly donut's good. Puts it in the box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That happens. Well, I'm sorry. I was gonna say that happened 6 times. let's be honest, we let that happen 6 more times.
Hey, I don't think we
6
should
times.
victim blame here. We
Yeah.
were the ones that we were taken advantage of.
I don't know.
Donut
I feel like the water was too muddy to figure out what the hell was going on. After she handed us a box of 6 donuts, I'm like, let's just get the fuck out of here. I don't know what's going on. Let's go eat some donuts now.
Yeah. Honestly, like I've been working with my therapist to set boundaries better, and this I feel like I definitely
She set
did
you
not.
back pretty far, didn't she?
She did. I was like,
believe it.
I'm gonna be talking about this in therapy for the next couple months.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with that? Ashlyn keeps talking about these goddamn donuts. No, it's god darn donuts, okay?
Darn. Yeah. So a little trauma, but trauma makes things spicy, so we love it.
We'll be right back.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I just have issues with donuts. I love them too much.
Sounds like you need a rectal exam. And a subscription to Downlyfans.
Donuts, where we'll smush a donut on your face, but also compare it to your asshole.
So I'll go from being bullied at Darn Donuts to Mike's Donuts, where I can get the log and see the mom.
There you go.
That's how I'm
Covering all sides of the psychoanalytical breakdowns of the brains. So I guess the main thing about Darn Donuts is it's green and pink outside.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it does look flashy from the outside. It's I mean, I don't want to get too. Once again, I don't want to get too pretentious, but it's a little gaudy on the doors. You know, they've got like random. They had like a random National Donut Day sticker on the door. I think National Donut Day was like 2 weeks before that.
It was. I think it was longer than 2 weeks.
It might have been.
It's like the family that leaves their Christmas lights up year round.
Yes, and you're in July.
And and we're in July, which also Christmas in July is okay. So maybe we're in like August and their Christmas lights are still up.
Yeah.
And then when you walk in, I feel like it wasn't somewhere that really made me want to stay and eat.
So I Googled real quick when National Donut Day was.
Let's hear it.
So National Donut Day was June 4th.
We went there August 8th.
Yeah. Exactly. No points off for trying, but
they're really patriotic about their donuts.
So one of the main things I noted too is in the front of their establishment, kind of like how I was talking about a display case and a whole like setup, a showcase for the donuts at Donut Plant.
Yeah.
They had that, but it was very much like, all right, just throw some shit in a cup and let's just leave them outside. They'll figure out what we got.
It was like the Dollar General version.
Yes.
Of
Nothing was labeled. It was just a variety of donuts underneath like a plexiglass shell sitting on a random lonesome chair sitting outside front. And I will tell you this. We walked by and we were like, fuck, is this place closed?
Yeah.
I don't think it's closed. I think we should just walk in.
Yeah, we didn't even know if it was open.
Exactly.
And I think the display case was on like an actual folding table.
Yes, it was. It was.
Well, what does that say about us? We still went there and ate their donuts.
And we were committed because I do recall we got there, and as we walked by, I was like, there is a Dunkin' up the block. So if all else fails, we'll use this as the free spot on our bingo card, which is represented by Dunkin' Krispy Kreme or any random establishment of a donut spot. So
yeah.
So
Feel free to sponsor us, by the way, if you're listening.
Dunkin' Donuts. That's a creepy version of.
It's very creepy. Krispy Kreme.
See, that was sweeter. That was
no,
nicer.
that was. I mean, I meant for it to be creepy.
I mean, it was a little creepy, but it's definitely sweeter than Dunkin' Donuts. I'm gonna add horror music to the background of that now. Just make it even more creepy.
Okay, all right.
Spooky
season. Yeah.
You gotta drag it out. Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Oh shit! Oh my god.
Ew, I'm cringing because I can hear myself.
You're like,
I won't be listening to this podcast.
All right, so we had 2, 4, 6 donuts. We were feeling super ambitious that day, as mentioned in the live podcast. So I'll keep it short because you probably already heard this if you have been following along. We left with 2, and I was so full of donuts, and you were like, you'll just give them off to your roommates or something.
Which I did not do. I ate both.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh shit!
I
nice.
didn't. I was like, Yeah, I was like, I ended up eating both over the course of the next 3 days. I think I
And
just
that was
kept
the
cutting.
s'mores and the chocolate, vanilla, whatever. the hell,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
how were those donuts? Because I didn't. This is a good part because this was not touched upon in the live. So you break down these two donuts for me.
Yeah, so I feel like they were both very similar. I didn't like the yeast part of the donut, like the cakey part
Yeah.
was not great. It felt kind of like I was eating chocolate frosting smeared on a piece of like on a baguette.
Yes.
So
Very, very gluteny, very thick.
yeah,
But just like the dough to like cream ratio or the dough to frosting ratio was kind of off.
yeah, right. I would say that's accurate. And really the only reason I was picking at them for the next 3 days is because I just didn't go grocery shopping. So I think that has something to do. Like I was hungry. I ate them in bed, probably next to my depression pile. So I feel
as
like
you brush crumbs off your shirt.
exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Like onto the floor and like I'll get that later. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So not my favorite.
Your cat's cardamom and bergamot was gonna eat the crumbs anyway.
Yeah,
so,
they got it. They got it taken care of. The
Yeah.
cats that I do not have, by
Yeah.
the way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So not my favorite.
Right. Yeah.
Again, like we talked about pretty much all of them.
Yeah,
on the
we
live.
broke it down in real time. I know you mentioned there was like a cinnamon sugar one that you combined the frosting of, and you sort of Frankenstein the notion of one donut with the other donut that we
Yeah.
had. I think it was the Boston cream filling. Maybe?
No, it was the vanilla. It was
Yes.
vanilla cream,
Yes, it was.
and yeah, it was the vanilla cream, and the vanilla cream was like a vanilla frosting type of. It wasn't like a light airy cream. It was like a frosting,
yeah.
like vanilla frosting, like from cake. Or
Ganache?
something.
Is that? No, I don't know if ganache is even the correct thing.
Gordon Ramsay, I hope you're not listening to this.
Absolutely dreadful.
It's fucking raw. That was aggressive. I'm sorry. I'm actually not. So yeah, it was good. The vanilla cream with the cinnamon, that
Yeah.
was game changing. But they didn't do that. I did. So.
I was just gonna say. So the fact that we're having to engineer the donuts after the fact, it's not boding well. Boding, is that the word? It's not going. I'm just gonna say it's not going well for them.
It's not Bidening well.
It's not Biden. The one thing that I will say I appreciated most about this donut spot, and it has nothing to do with the donuts, we finally used the giant oversized stamp on the bingo card, and that was the most exciting portion of going to Darn Donuts.
Yeah. Out of all this experience, he only cares about the donut stamp with
Yes.
the cop and the what is it? A donut cop and
It's
a
a cop.
coffee.
It's a coffee cup, and it's a donut, and they're cops, and they're solving crimes across the world
Yeah.
when it comes to sugar and problems.
I think that's Detective Stewart coming out a little bit.
Distant cousin, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, so I've got nothing else to say other than I will always
Yeah.
be traumatized by this donut spot and I will not go back.
Agreed.
Unless I'm going to Diker Heights, which I probably won't.
And I was jokingly saying it, but I feel like if I was committing to the idea of the Luther Vandross donut, which is the donut sandwich, which is a donut split in two or two donuts with a burger in the middle,
Oh.
I would get one of their donuts
Yeah.
and slap a piece of meat in the middle of it. Because their donuts are so huge, you could do that. Like, I think another quick mention, which I believe I mentioned in the live pod, we talked about how it looked like they just slit the donut down the middle and filled it with frosting, not like injecting it as most donuts do. It's just like, let's just make it a sandwich.
Yeah, let me just
And it
slap it in there.
Yeah, excessive.
Yeah.
So the main thing that I said too before was excessive. That was my main adjective of the place in general. From the way
Excessive.
that they force-fed us donuts to the size of the donuts and eating them. So overall score out of donuts of 6, I would probably give it I don't know, this one's a little tough because I don't know.
What did we give
It
Mike's?
wasn't bad. What do we give Mike's?
Was it a 3.9?
Mike's was
gave
3.9, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably do like a, cause it's up there with Mike's. Like it seems like it's on the same level with Mike's.
Yeah.
The only difference is that, well, I feel like it's definitely on the same level as Mike's.
Okay.
Only I didn't feel bullied when I went into Mike's. I
Right.
felt like,
So maybe a 3.5-ish?
yeah, I would do like a 3.5.
Yeah. I would say I liked it maybe slightly more than the Moshi donut, but
Only slightly.
only slightly, yeah.
And only because we concocted that one
Exactly.
for me anyway.
Because the concoction was created and yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, also it was a little bit, the weather was better than when we went to Mike's. And also we had just watched the Bo Burnham special, which we were talking about the entire time.
Yes.
So I think
we
that
were.
just like made the experience a little bit better in itself. So,
Agreed.
So 3.5 for this place is where I'll sit.
3.5 sounds about right.
Yeah, I'll die here.
We'll be right back.
In a world where donuts and coffee don't get along,
One donut on his way to becoming the world's next top cop.
one partnership between a donut and a cup of coffee, one task to save the fucking world. Donut and coffee,
Donut and coffee.
rated NC-17.
So Darn was in August. Our next spot was in September, the 19th, and this was the Donut Project.
The Donut Project.
The Donut Project.
Yes.
Where was this located? I'm blanking. It was near. We were in Washington Park.
Yes, I was going to say, was it by East Village? But I feel like if I say that, that's wrong.
I was just, I was thinking about this last night because I was telling somebody how, this donut place was so great that we went to a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't remember where the heck it was, but I remember sitting in Washington Square Park eating our donuts. So it was somewhere around there, possibly 19th Street.
I'm pulling it up on the map now to confirm. It is...
Jamie, pull that up for us.
It is technically Lower Manhattan. It's on Morton Street.
Morton.
So it's more, I guess technically it would be Lower West Side. Not quite. Yeah, definitely not the East Side because Cat's Deli is all the way far right to it on the East Side. So I would say Lower West Side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we visited this spot.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, agreed.
Probably just because, well, actually, like the donuts were great, but also you walk inside and there's a bunch of, first of all, Star Wars paraphernalia, which I'm all about.
Yes, there was a Stormtrooper helmet sitting just behind the bar by where they were making espresso and coffee drinks.
Yep. And a neon sign that says donuts. It was above the espresso and the helmet. There was like some movie posters, like old movie posters all over the place. Oh, and the best part, they were playing Toy Story on the TV.
Yes, they were.
Like, how fucking better can you get?
And there's a Johnny Cash art display as well. So there was a lot of appeal going on there that just made it an awesome looking spot, and it was very, as mentioned before, very photogenic. Probably the most photogenic spot next to probably the Donut Pub or Dunwell.
Yeah,
So,
I would say, yeah.
And full force further than that, the donuts were pretty darn good.
So good, yeah. I got the cereal milk crunch donut.
Yes.
Which was
Which
a vegan.
I didn't get it, and I should have gotten that one
But
because
you
I had
tried
just
it,
like
right?
a little morsel of it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit, this one's good."
So good,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's crazy how like I expected when we started this journey. I'm like, okay, Dunwell is a vegan spot. I expected vegan donuts to not be that great,
Right.
and so far every vegan donut I've had has been better than the actual non-vegan ones that I've had.
I'll go one step further and say their cereal crunch donut was probably the best vegan donut I've ever had.
Yeah,
I've
I would
ever had.
agree. Yeah, same. Because it was a cake donut, but it was covered in like, I want to say Frosted Flakes, but that doesn't even do it justice. Like
Right.
that's like Frosted Flakes would be like the Walmart version of this.
For sure.
Crunch.
It must be like homemade flakes or something. I don't know. It seems like whatever they set it up, they really like crafted something. Like as we jokingly mentioned Gordon Ramsay a second ago, Gordon Ramsay would appreciate this donut because it wasn't just a sweet donut. It had a savory sort of salty taste that went along with it.
Yeah.
And it catches you off guard from the first taste, and you're like, "Holy shit, this is actually really fucking good."
Yeah,
Like,
because
what's the mesh of the flavors? What's going on? But
Exactly.
I like it. I appreciate this. So
yeah. I mean, because you have that element of like when you add something salty to a sweet,
yeah,
flavor, it enhances the sweetness of it, but not only like the sweetness, the whole experience of the sweet flavor. That's why, you add salt to cookies and make them taste good or whatever.
Right. I never fully like understood the concept of adding a salt to a sweet for that reason. It always just like, okay, it's just another ingredient. But this was like the confirmation of like, oh shit, I get it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, very good. And I remember like, I think when I tasted that donut, what happened was like I took one of the flakes off and ate it, and I was like, wow, that's salty. So I was judging a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I took a bite and I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever tasted.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very good.
Yeah, I had the pump up the jam, which was like a caramel brulee exterior and like a jam cream filling in the middle. And I would say, I think maybe I wasn't, I didn't know what to expect from a brulee flavor. So to me, the outer taste was like bitter and kind of strong, but that's kind of how the brulee style goes. Mm-hmm. So for me, it wasn't my favorite, but I still, I appreciated the inside and the flavor. And then the other donut I got was the sugar plum one.
Yeah.
And that shit was the bomb.
Yeah. I did not try the brulee one that you had, but I did try the sugar plum one, and that was like, it was like a cream cheese frosting, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was like, it tasted very authentic.
Agreed.
It wasn't like a...
And your other donut was the coffee cake crunch.
Yeah,
How was that?
That was a good one too. I will say I liked the cereal milk crunch better because it was like a cake donut, but the coffee cake crunch was very good too. That one wasn't vegan, I don't think.
No, I don't believe it was.
But it was very good. And
it had like a coffee, like I thought coffee cake, you taste more of like a sugary pastry flavor. But when they say coffee cake, it was that, but also with like, it's tasted like they used like instant coffee to make it.
Yeah, like coffee ground.
It had like a legit coffee flavor,
yeah,
which is a striving point that we've been talking about for many spots.
Yeah.
A reason that we probably will go back to Doughnut is they have a cafe au lait donut, full circle. So.
Absolutely. We love our coffee donuts.
Exactly. We want to see the fusing of a coffee with donuts and destroy the universe by eating one of those delicious factors. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
So
I also got cold brew that day.
Yes.
It was pretty good, but I mean, we're not here to evaluate cold brew, but I mean, it was like any other
I got cold brew too, if I recall correctly, right?
I think we both did.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, this was a really good spot. One of my favorites, I would say.
Agreed.
And the staff was very, very nice. She was.
It's one of those where I on my day off, I didn't have any reason to go to the city, and I was already contemplating a reason to go into the city just to pass it to get a donut from there.
Fair, yeah.
So I haven't done that yet, but it is probably going to happen.
It'll happen.
It is without a doubt repeat offender.
Yeah.
That will be revisited.
Absolutely.
So.
What do we rate this one?
Just 6 off the bat. No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
I wouldn't go as high as 6, but I would say it's pretty up there. Would you go as far to say it's better than Dunwell? In some factors and some notions. Yeah.
So this is where I am. Is like the donuts definitely better than Dunwell.
Okay.
Objectively, I think the donuts are better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think this is probably better than Dunwell.
Okay.
Which it kind of like, maybe I'm just like emotionally attached to Dunwell, but because I'm like, oh, it hurts a little bit to say that.
Right, but it was the place that walks so we can run, and now we ran all the way to the Donut Project.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe a 5.5. What do we give Dunwell? I don't remember. Find it in the episode before this one.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I would say this is a 5.8.
5.8 sounds about right.
Did we give like 5.6 to Dunwell or something?
I think so.
I
think that checks out. Yeah. I would say it's marginally better, but they're both in the same 5-point such bracket.
Yeah.
That they, and like I said, the repeatable revisiting factor is almost on the same with Dunwell and Donut Project. The only difference with Donut Project, it's a little further out.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
It is and it isn't, because it's just a little more travel getting on a train and stuff. While Dunwell is literally walkable. So.
Right. Well, yeah. I think that's probably the deciding factor for me. If I woke up on a Saturday and I was like, I want a donut, I probably wouldn't hop on a train to go a couple stops into the city for this place, because that's just... I mean, if I was going into the city anyway, for sure, but... But
it's more of a trek when you're just going in and out and getting a donut. You want to be 1, 2, 3, so I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a 5.8 for me.
Awesome.
It's a good one.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Are you tired of your regular donut shops?
Gee, I really am.
Are you sick of sprinkles?
Jeez, I really am.
Well, come on down to D's Nuts.
Cheese nuts?
D's Nuts.
D's nuts?
What? Are you not fucking listening to me? I said D's Nuts. Come on down and get your fucking donuts at D's Nuts.
Damn, I'm scared. Let's go to D's nuts. Sponsored by an angry woman at Mike's trying to bully us into buying 6 donuts.
Not brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, so that concludes those. We have one spot left so far, which is the spot we went to today.
Yeah.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan Doughnuts.
We have not even tasted these donuts yet.
Nor did we stamp our lovely bingo card. I'm looking at where it's at on here, so.
Let's stamp
Funny
it.
enough, we don't have a full bingo line yet. I was thinking about, I realize it's more of a checklist than a bingo card.
Right.
However, we don't have anything fully across. But this one almost makes a full row down, so then we'd have to go to Top That Donuts, which I haven't looked in to see if it still exists. But
yeah, me either.
Peter Pan Doughnuts is on the top of our list, and it's a full trek down. So yeah,
Okay.
let's do this.
All right, so let's evaluate.
So we got ourselves here today. We have 3 donuts that look very similar,
Yeah.
so I don't know which one's which.
The one in the middle here is a cake donut with it's apple cider cinnamon.
Yes.
So it's got it looks like some cinnamon sugar, and probably the donut is like a cakey, maybe apple. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
I just did a regular apple cider. Wait, yours is apple cider cinnamon?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think mine is just apple cider minus the cinnamon. And then I grabbed a
Maple?
maple. Yes.
Maple. Okay.
So decisions were made. The choices were semi-abrupt because they bombarded us with many options.
Yeah.
They didn't
there's
physically
so
do
many.
it to us,
No.
but as we were on a long line waiting and the line got shorter and shorter, we were like, oh fuck, what are we gonna get? Should we get that one? No, maybe we'll get this one. And I probably changed my mind like 13 times, and then I still got 2 that I was like, wait, did I want those?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said I was gonna get 1 cake, 1 regular donut, and I ended up with 2 cake donuts. But
yeah. How did that happen?
no regrets.
No regrets. Yeah, a lot of options, and they have their QR code outside on the menu, for the menu, which is nice. But also, it's not always accurate to what they actually have, which I noticed because I was looking at it before to be like, this bitch is gonna make a decision today. Didn't happen, but there's a lot of options.
Not today, Donut Satan. Not today.
But I have I know we have only cake donuts here, but I have had the regular yeast donuts that they have with the frosting. I had those in March around my birthday time.
I've had a lot of their donuts. It was actually probably before. I don't want to say it was the spot I went to before I went to Dunwell, because I'm pretty sure I went to Dunwell before it, but it was when I first moved out to Brooklyn, probably back in 2015, more or less. Mm-hmm. It was Dunwell and Peter Pan that I frequented quite often.
Yeah.
And I made it a point before, I'd get out of work at Starbucks, and it was an hour and 20-minute walk, and I'd walk there from my job to get donuts and coffee and just chill in the park nearby and just scarf down some donuts. So I've had a lot of their donuts. So in terms of, I guess, the notion of why I picked what I got today is these are donuts that I don't think I've consumed or tried from them. So
yeah.
And I think they're also their seasonal donuts. So we decided to go very fall, very seasonal. So maple and apple cider.
Feeling very fall-y in here.
We did neglect pumpkin, but I don't recall. Did you see a pumpkin one there?
Yeah, there was a pumpkin cake donut.
Okay.
But I was like, I don't know. I'm not a whole PSL type of person at this in the fall. I'm I like the apple cider. I like the cinnamon. I like the idea of pumpkin. I don't always if it was going to be a pumpkin muffin or a pumpkin smoothie.
Change it up a little bit. Which they have a pumpkin milkshake, which we both looked at each other and not today, but soon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When we go back, we might have to try that pumpkin milkshake. Mm-hmm. So
before fall is over, we'll have to maybe go get one.
Hell yeah. I was going to say also the pumpkin donut in general, it's not unless you're really up in the spice with it, the pumpkin donut isn't going to have, it's not different across the board. Right. However, as I was unfolding that thought, I remembered last weekend I had the Dunkin' Donut hole pumpkin one. They had pumpkin spice. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was just a weird batch or something, but they were so spicy Like the
spicy.
Yeah, like the taste, like not burning your tongue spicy, but like it was pumpkin spice, but we were getting more spice than pumpkin.
Right.
So
Okay.
there were certain flavors that were overwhelming, and it had that salty flavor, like the other the donut project.
Yeah.
But not in a good way.
Not in a good way. No.
So we kept eating them, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I would take a bite, and I was like, "What the fuck's wrong with this donut?" And then I proceeded to make everybody in the car with me, my brother-in-law, my sister, my nieces, to try it and get the same response, which they all agreed. It's like this tastes weird. I don't think something's right about it. So
no.
But yeah,
somebody definitely poisoned the donuts.
For sure.
Fun fact: I used to work at Dunkin' Donuts. I worked there for like more than 5 years, I think. So I've had my fair share of munchkin tasting.
Right on.
And they always taste like chapstick.
Really?
Yeah, it tastes like
Wait, like all of them in general, or?
I mean, like all the munchkins. Yeah, like you get the typically they have like the glaze, the pumpkin, the chocolate glaze, the blueberry.
I could almost see the taste in my head when you mention it, and I compare it to the chocolate donut one.
Yeah.
The chocolate cake one.
Yeah.
I could understand where you're coming from.
It's like a very artificial, like chapsticky type of.
The glazed are pretty on point, I'd say, because the glaze just tastes like a glazed donut hole. Nothing. You can't really fuck that up. At least I don't think so.
No,
We'll give them time. They might.
Maybe, probably will. Yeah. So this place, I think the biggest selling point for this place, Peter Pan Doughnuts, is that it's like the OG donut spot.
Oh, for sure.
It's like we got 3 donuts for $5.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We probably the cheapest donut spot amongst our list.
Yeah.
We didn't really bring up pricing because we don't want that necessarily to take away from the appeal. But if you want to get your bang for your buck, Peter Pan. Is the spot. Yeah.
They're definitely like cheap, pretty good, cash only.
Yeah, cash only.
But I mean, the prices of the other spots are basically like, you're going to pay like a New York price for a donut across the board.
You're
but
paying
this
for the aesthetic. This place is like, you want some good donuts? We got them.
Yeah.
You got to throw a couple of dollars at us. We got some coffee. We got some sandwiches, but come for our donuts. And,
exactly. Yeah.
And that was prevalent when I officially arrived. The line was literally out the door.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like initially I thought it might have been like a COVID protocol line.
No.
And it was legit, like, it was a line because it was busy. So
yeah. And I feel
which they killed. Like,
yeah,
that line was gone within
so
a moment. So
yeah.
Which was the only problem about that is like, oh, fuck, now we have to actually make a decision what we're getting. So
yeah, exactly.
And here we are.
All right, here we are. Should we try?
Yes, we should.
Okay, going in for the attack. I'm going to just break off a piece of the apple cider cinnamon.
And for comparison's sake, I'm going to get the apple cider regular. And I'm gonna bump the audio up just enough for some ASMR here.
Oh, I'm so grossed out.
I take it back. I don't want to do this. I'm turning my mic back down. Okay, I've realized, as I've already known, I don't appreciate ASMR. And that
Mouth sounds do not sit well with me.
I prefer more pretend ASMR where you just ham it up like you obnoxiously chew. So, this apple cider donut is pretty good.
I'm going to say mine is okay.
Okay.
It's more like bready dough.
Okay.
Not cakey dough.
Oh.
And
I do remember you asking if it was a cake donut, and she was like, oh, yes, most definitely. But upon you breaking it, it doesn't look as cakey as mine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's true. I mean, mine looks more like a piece of bread with some cinnamon sugar on the outside. I am getting like notes of apple. Smells like a donut.
Does it smell like apple?
No.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, and
smells like an orchard.
Mine smells like a donut and not like apple. But it definitely tastes like apple.
I think this is the type that you need to dip into a coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the main appeals of a cake donut, because when you dip them into a cup of coffee, they absorb a lot more coffee, I assume. I mean, I don't know what the difference is that with like a fluffier donut, but I just assume because it's all that extra like dense cake.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be like soggy.
Yeah.
You know,
so like I feel like with the cake donut, you can get away with dipping it in and you still retain some of the donut texture, but now you got a little coffee boost to give it like some oomph. I'd say, yeah,
I like this.
The apple cider's pretty good.
Now I'm getting like a little bit of crunchies on the outside. Like apple crisp type of
Ooh,
situation.
okay.
All right, it's pretty good.
'Tis the season.
Yeah. Do you want to taste test
The
that
maple?
one? That one.
Oh, yeah.
The apple cinnamon.
Yes, I'll give this
cinnamon
one a try.
cider cinnamon. Oh, yours is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. The apple cider without cinnamon, fantastic.
I feel like, yeah, yours is like a refined version of mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they sort of strip down the apple flavor to bump up the cinnamon. And even the cinnamon isn't that crazy strong, but it's good.
No, this one is. I
The
really
apple cider's
enjoy
pretty
this
damn
one.
good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna take one more piece.
Go for it. Enjoy. And we have left here is a maple. Doesn't smell at all like maple. But once again, like I said, my apple one does not smell like apple, but it tastes very much so.
Tastes fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try the maple.
The maple was also a recommendation.
Was it?
Yes. So, we'll see if you're the one who recommended maple.
It wasn't me.
Are you also a terrible person? We'll find out.
So the maple isn't bad, but I don't really taste maple. It tastes more like an old fashioned. Is it just me?
I'm
I'm
tasting
gonna have another
maple.
piece. Maybe I need another piece.
I don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
I do taste maple, but it's like
Subtle.
it's like okay. It's like a nod to maple.
Yeah, it's old fashioned with a hint of maple.
Yeah.
We should have gone with one of the maple logs.
Do they have maple logs?
I'm pretty sure that's what we saw in the window.
That was the log.
I'm pretty sure that was they're
Oh,
like
but
maple.
no, that's like that was like
but yeah.
filled log,
You're right,
like
you're
a
right,
yeast
yeah.
donut log.
So that would have been a little overkill.
Yeah, but I think the winner here is this apple cider donut.
Agreed.
If the maple had been this way, or if the other apple cinnamon had been that way, perfect. But they weren't, so.
Yep. So.
I bet the blueberry would have been good too.
Oh, the blueberry was also a cake donut, correct? If I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Yes, which I'm pretty sure I've had before, and it has not failed yet.
Blueberry is usually a solid option. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't know what to get, and blueberry cake is an option, pretty safe.
Agreed.
All right, well, that was good. Just to touch on the time I went in March, I had a coconut donut.
Okay. Well, that was the same. The coconut,
It was like
not cream.
no, there was like it was more of like a toasted coconut flake.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Toasted
Yes.
coconut flakes on the outside of like a yeast donut, which
And
was
they
very
have
good.
and they have two of them. They have that one, and then they have the chocolate coconut toasted, right? Yeah.
But the chocolate toasted coconut looks like it would taste better because it looks like a cake donut.
Yes.
Maybe I just have a bias to cake donuts.
Fair.
But they're good.
I've grown to love cake donuts, but I blame Starbucks because when I worked there, I ate a lot of their old fashions, and because of that, it opened up my mind to that type of texture when it came to donuts.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like doing this, it like reverse engineered my brain to other types of donut styles
Yeah.
as the yeast donut proceeds over most. So yeah,
We don't judge, except we do because this is all what this is about.
yeah,
Judging.
we're not judgmental here, but goddamn, that donut was something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So winner today would be the apple cider donut.
Yeah.
Apple cinnamon one was all right. Maple was a little below that, but also decent. So, shall we go in for our rating?
Yes, we should.
All right. I would say Peter Pan Doughnuts would probably be. It's definitely in the 5 range. I just don't know where to put it in the 5 range.
I'm thinking low 4.
Low 4? Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, controversial.
Like, I feel like 4 is being generous.
Oh, wow.
But also, I know, it's like, okay, you get a bunch of donuts for the price of, like, I don't know.
I'm thinking high 4 now. Now that I'm drawing in some other factors from the previous places, and in terms of taste, flavor, availability, I probably would not go past 5. I'd probably go maybe like 4.7, 8, 4.8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, I'm at like a 4.3, 4.4.
Okay.
So maybe, like, 4.6.
Okay. 4.6 is our stamp here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Should we stamp?
And now we need a physical, actual stamp
Yeah.
on the official The Hunt for New York's Best Donuts bingo card. Now, which stamp shall we use?
Where is it on our card? Ah, okay.
Second top to the left.
Let's use the bagel donut. Doesn't look like the bagel
Yes.
donut is,
It has been underutilized.
is it this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. ASMR of our stamp.
Oh, that was actually
That's
pretty
good.
good.
That's good,
I
right?
prefer plastic sounds than food sounds and chewing. Oh.
That was the ink pad opening.
Yep.
Now we're going to stamp. Okay, and we are stamped.
All right. That is another donut spot in the books.
Yeah, we've done well.
Oh.
Done well.
All right.
Didn't do that on purpose, but sponsor me, done well.
So we have 16 spots to go. We will have more episodes coming soon.
Yeah, tune in.
Until I'm trying to think of a really good donut pun, but I'm all out.
Holy smokes, we have a lot of spots left to go.
Holy donut, we have a lot of spots to go.
That's a lot. That's a nuts. That's nuts.
Go nuts for donuts. Sponsor us, please. Please, somebody give us free donuts. Come on.
We're really trying here. D's nuts for donuts.
That's the name of the spot that we should have for donuts.
D's donuts?
Come.
No, there's actually a D's donuts.
Oh, there is
on our
D's
list.
donuts.
D's.
So ours would just be
nuts.
called D's nuts, and
Yeah.
then they come in. It's like, what the fuck? It's donuts. What do you think it was? Think I'm
D's
just in here
nuts.
selling my nuts. Come on, are you crazy?
Yeah. Any other donut puns?
I don't have any. I do not have any.
Oh,
Ayo.
that's a good one.
On that note, I think this is the end of this broadcast.
I think we should close it there.
Tune in soon. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye.